Happy 4th of July, everybody. Happy America Day. For those of you not in America, well, happy dealing with ignorant Americans Day, I guess. But honestly, on a day like this, when we talk about history, when we talk about 1776, and we reflect, I just thought it'd be interesting to give a little bit more of my personal history with the music and, just share a little bit more with you guys. So what a lot of people don't realize that even though I'm like bigger on YouTube now and, have a brand that's a little bit more well known, I've actually been on YouTube for over 10 years and I've been making music and hip hop music for a lot longer than that. Those of you who have checked out some of my earlier stuff, 4 In was one of my first biggest hits with John the Unlimited. Now, me and John the Unlimited, the first group I was ever in, the first way I got started, we had a group together, him and I, called The Lost Cause. Hopefully I can find a picture and I'll post it here of me and John and that was really how we got started with music. John was the one who took me to my first studio when I was ready to start recording, when I was ready to start laying down some of my ideas. I remember just like going to just some of the roughest parts of PG County, right? And we're trying to find a studio. And the first studio we ever did was in this dude's basement. Thankfully we went there during the daytime at first, and it was at a dude's house and we couldn't find it at first. And we're literally like knocking on doors and like people are walking out. One dude walks out with a gun in his hand, like, what the fuck are y'all doing? And I'm being like the only white dude around. I'm like, hey, yeah, we're trying to make some music. But eventually we found it. We went down and we laid down the first tracks. And maybe one day I will dig through the library. I will find those. I will share those with you guys. But influence-wise, I'll always say, man, like John was a huge influence on me and my music. I actually just went to his wedding. I was in his wedding not long ago. That was an amazing moment. And we had a great time there at the wedding to kind of sit down, have some whiskeys together. And we just freestyled, man. We just freestyled late into the night and just had some great reflections, and that was special. In terms of our sound, I'd say we were like an interesting mix of sort of Immortal Technique meets Kanye West. And what I mean by that in those days, obviously for those of you who know Immortal, I was a huge Immortal fan. And he was very dark, he was very raw, he was very rugged, but he also spoke out on a lot of issues, a lot of social issues, a lot of political issues. And he was not afraid to go after anyone and everyone with his music and really use his music as a further means of his psychological, of his social revolution that he wanted to give off. And then I say kind of Kanye West, and that's kind of where John came in with sort of the smoother, more soulful side. But, we were both conscious rappers. I've always stood up for music with a message. I've always wanted to create songs that have a purpose, that use hip hop as a platform for helping to further that means of social change, to help speak out on important things. And what Kanye West kind of did, when he came through at that time, and I talked about this a little bit in some of my live streams, was that you have to remember when Kanye first entered the scene at the time in the mainstream, it was very gangster, rugged rap music. No one at the time was really walking around popping pink polos like Kanye, making the music that Kanye was making. It was definitely a risk on the radio. It was a risk on the mainstream at the time for rap, because it was a lot of street shit, a lot of very rugged stuff. And Kanye was kind of like, look, man, that's not me. Like, I'm not about that life. I'm surrounded by this. I'll speak on it, but I'm going to do me. I'm going to stay true to myself and kind of, what I believe in. And that sort of rise up helped to pave the way for other artists to come through, like the Lupe Fiascos, the backpacking artists, the more socially conscious, aware rappers, the Commons as well, the poetry of hip hop, blending all of those styles together. And obviously I know we had like Talib Kweli, you've got Mos Def, you've had artists in the past before Kanye came through. But the point I'm making is that, Kanye on a huge global level, really enacted and was one of the first MCs to really hit those numbers and to hit that stage that was doing it just kind of differently, in a different way. And it definitely influenced us in our music that we were making, because it was like, right, here's kind of a path and kind of a blueprint that you can be successful, not just having to talk about all of this gangster shit, not talk about dealing drugs, not talk about doing things in this way. There's all kinds of other topics and other things that you can address, and you can go and still make it. And it was fun. I mean, those were some of the best days, man. Like, the best times was just sitting in studio with John and just creating. And a lot of times, we might have something written, we might not. We just put on a beat and we start to like just idea bounce. And then he'd be like, yo, let me get in the booth. Like, I'm ready to do this. And I'd hear him do something and it would inspire me. I'd be like, no, I'm ready. Let me get in and help you with this. And we go back and forth and just kind of, finding that synergy, man. I mean, those are times I'm always going to look back on with a smile on my face. I'm always going to enjoy. And then taking that music and going out and, trying to push yourself, trying to be successful and get your name out there. Again, I mean, we were traveling up to Philly. We were traveling to B-more. We were in DC. We were around PG. We were playing open mics left and right. You know, wherever we could get a show, wherever we could try out, wherever we could battle, try to show ourselves off. John's a skinny black dude, and I'm a skinny white dude. You know, we would walk into these shows in some of these places that, you know, you don't go into feeling comfortable in because they're not safe places necessarily. But we had a mission, and we wanted to convert people over to our music. You know, there was nothing like getting on stage and kind of proving people wrong and proving those preconceptions that they had of us to be incorrect, and to show them what we represented on the mic and to show them what we could do. Listen, it feels like the world's against you. It feels like everyone's doubting you. Everyone's a critic. And you know, it creates a brotherhood. I mean, it creates a connection between me and John the Unlimited that we will always have until my dying day. I mean, we were in the trenches together. You know, we were going to war for our music together. And at that time, I always had the creativity. I was always very creative. And it's just like he always would say to me, like, yo, you think about things in a very different way. Like, you come up with some great concepts and some great way to do stuff. But what I definitely needed to work on was my delivery and was my rhythm. And that's something I really learned from Jay, was how to handle yourself on beats, how to find very smooth pockets, you know, how to not like let the beat affect what you do, how to influence the beat yourself and kind of dictate what you're going to do over top of that beat, and really push myself and definitely push my flow and my delivery and my pen game to just new bounds. And like I said, we've put out some good stuff, man. I had Hold On, I think I released on this channel. I released Foreign on this channel. I released Masquerade as well. He was on a later track with me, Angels and Demons. I mean, yeah, if I can get John out of retirement, because he's retired nowadays, man. He's got a kid. He's doing well with his job. Just bought his first house. Shout out to you, man, if you're watching this. But I'm going to get your ass out of retirement. I'm going to get you out of retirement one day, and we are going to make a comeback album, and it's going to blow the fuck up. I'm telling you. But yeah, again, maybe I'll do something where I'll share some of that past with you guys and some more of those tracks, so you can kind of see the evolution over time and kind of see the growth that I've gone through since I went from being a part of a duo act, a part of a group, into the solo act that you now see, the Reactor that you now see, which, you know, as I do these reactions, I feel like there's even a difference now between the Reactor that gets in front of this camera, that breaks down songs, that talks about music, and the musician and the MC and the perspective that I give you and who I am when I step into the booth and I get on that microphone. I don't know, maybe I'm just rambling on, but, you know, I like doing these little moments when I kind of give you guys thoughts and just give you a little bit more look into the window of my life and my past and some of the things that I've learned from and kind of who I've been. And especially on a day like this and at this point in our nation, when we talk about our history and you look at living in America and you look at how divided we are. And it feels like every day we become more and more divided on issues, and so many hot topic issues on social media, so many things and ways in which the media portrays stuff that continues to divide us, that I hope on a day like this, we can come together. Instead of looking at all the things that make us different, we focus on some of the things that bring us together, that make us human. You know, we all suffer. We all go through pain. We all have issues that we have to deal with, but we all love as well. We all can be amazing people if you give us a chance. And I just hope we can focus on more of our common themes than the things that separate us. Anyways, take care of yourselves today, guys. Enjoy time with your family. I love you. Stay safe, stay positive, and I'll catch you again very soon. I'm out.